Sir? Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. Students, wait, ma. Don't left from the link.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry for. Instead of, I think let me start from this. Actually, as engineering students, you are expected to use a standard variety of English. Actually, standard variety is nothing but a polite form of language. In our mother tongue, we are aware of ni, the meaning of ni and ningal. At the same time, in English, we are taught the less standard English in schools and colleges. Get up, stand up, or get lost, or submit your assignment. All those things are instructions or commands. Those things may not be used with the elders, or those things are giving less respect to others. So with the hierarchy, based on the hierarchy, we are giving respect. So in such condition, our language will be misunderstood, or it will be understood that you are using a less standard variety of English. So instead of less standard variety, you are aware of business English. Business English is something different from the ordinary communicative English. And when you look at business English, where people are given people are giving more importance to the standard variety of English. Instead of saying, "Give me the coffee," you can say, "Would you pass the coffee, please?" And the more polite one is, "Could I have a coffee, please?" And in our days, in our school days or in college days, we people use, "Give me a pen." Instead of "Give me a pen," you can use, "Can you lend me a pen?" Then instead of asking, "Give your bag," "Can I get your bag?" "Give your autograph." "Could I have your autograph?" Especially this can do statements. If you type can do statements in Google, you will be able to find a lot. So actually, the IELTS TOEFL examinations where they are teaching statements, can do parameters. So even if you do a PhD in English, if you want to enter into Australia or in some other countries, they are expecting IELTS TOEFL examination. Actually, you must have certificate in IELTS TOEFL. Actually, because the thing is, we are using a kind of English, and in native land, they are using another kind of English. In the education field, we are expected to use a standard variety of English. But at the same time, what happens, we in schools and colleges, we are taught a less standard variety of English. So as engineering student, you have to use a standard variety of English so that you'll be able to get job easily. That's also a part of 21st century skill. So where is South Street? Instead of asking where is South Street, you can ask, "Excuse me, I'm looking for South Street." Is the right form, and which seems to be a standard form of language. And "Tell me the time." Instead of asking, "Tell me the time," "Would you mind telling me the time, please?" That gives more respect to your fellow men. Then instead of saying "Open the window," you can say "Open the window a little more, please, if you don't mind," or if you didn't mind. and send me the reports. Please send me the report. Using can and do, that gives more respect. That's what you have to keep in mind. Then I want a cake. Instead of I want a cake, I'd like to have a cake, or I like a cake. Whether you can use. Then go away, leave me alone. We people often say that, leave me alone with it. Could you give me a minute? Sorry, I am a bit busy right now. Such sentences are more polite and which are considered standard language. Then tell me when you are available. Let me know when you are available. You're wrong. Instead of posing someone completely wrong, you can say that I think you might be mistaken. I'm afraid I disagree with it. So this is actually the polite form. Instead of completely maybe opposing a person, you can simply say, I think you might be mistaken with it. In group discussion or in other areas, or even if you don't understand certain concepts, among your friends or in conferences or in symposiums, you can use this kind of language instead of directly posing a person. Because if you use this word, you're wrong, it may hurt the mind of a particular person. Instead, politely, you can make him understand. Then that's a bad idea. I'm not sure that's a good idea. That politely you can speak. Then your work isn't good. I'm not quite satisfied with your work. To be honest, this needs some improvement. That you can use. Then we should redesign the company logo. Shouldn't we redesign the company logo? Maybe we are getting suggestions from them. Instead of raising a question, or instead of commenting, or instead of giving instructions, if we seek information from them, it is considered polite. Then you have broken my computer. Instead of saying you have broken my computer has been broken. That doesn't accuse other person. You don't understand me. Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. I didn't explain at this point. I didn't understand this point. Instead of accusing that person, you can accuse yourself. Then this order. Can I ask a question? Can I just ask a question, please? May I ask a question? May I just ask a question, please? This polite forms are considered standard languages. Let me move a little fast. So in dialects too, how are you doing today? I'm fine. What about you? Now better. Thank you. Now, whatever, if somebody asks, how are you? Immediately you can say that, thank you. What about you? Like that. That sort of communication is really for everything. If you thank you, thank your fellow men, or if you thank your professor, then it is considered a standard one. So how to develop the communicative competence of the students in English? Actually, the basic one in the beginning, I told you, if you practice confidence building activities that can improve their confidence so that they will have a curiosity over learning. So the basic one is maybe an engineering subject, or maybe an art subject, or science subject, whatever with the subject. If the students like the subject, then only they will be involving in it. They will be able to study the particular subject. So as a teacher, the teachers may practice confidence building activities just to improve the confidence of the students. This sort of practice, like draw a picture that will symbolize you. They can draw a picture that can symbolize their character. That may be an activity through which they will be able to understand their own character and write a love letter. They have to write a love letter to themselves. So when they are writing a love letter, they may actually they have to think of all the goodness, what are the good attitude, or what are the good skills they have. They have to write everything in a letter. So it actually makes them understand how I am brainy, or how I am beautiful, like that. So that they'll be able to first they have to understand themselves, then they have to understand the rest of the things. So inside the classroom, teachers can practice group tasks or activities to boost especially the brain activity, or the thinking skill, analyzing skill, problem solving, reasoning skills of the students. Actually, this was a question in TCS. Just read the direction. You have to boil the frog without torturing it, or without giving any sleeping pills, or anesthesia, or chloroform. Simply, the frog should not feel pain. It is whether it is boiled or not, it shouldn't understand it. You are not allowed to use lid, especially the closer to the vessel. Give your internal plan and discuss with your group members how to do it. In the initial class, if we practice this sort of brainstorming session, the students will have a good friendship among themselves first. And beyond everything, they will be able to think how it should be executed. Then they will be able to solve the problem. Actually, the entire thing is, the instruction is, you shouldn't use anesthesia or chloroform or sleeping pill At the same time, you have to boil the frog. Normally, if we keep the frog in the vessel and keep it on the stove, what will happen? It will jump. Sometimes maybe it may stay there, and if you start boiling like normal water, normally what we do, it will jump, or it because it may feel pain. At the same time, if we gradually increase the heat, for example, 5 degrees centigrade to 8, 10, 11, 12, 20, like that, gradually increase, it may not understand the pain of it. At the same time, we can boil the frog. So actually, this like the same, you can find a lot of brainstorming questions. This sort of questions can be practiced among the students to improve their thinking, analyzing, problem solving, reasoning, logical skills. So like the same inside the classroom, role play. Maybe the students may be asked to do the play of, asked to play the role of someone. Maybe play the role of a policeman or a doctor or scientist, even engineer, how an engineer has to, maybe especially mock interviews can be practiced inside the classroom. One student has to play as an interviewer and the rest of the students have to practice, but they have to play the role of interviews. So somebody has to question, actually the interviewer has to conduct an interview among the students, the rest of the students will answer like that. So it will give enough exposure to the students to understand the interview skills, and they will be able to attend interviews effectively. So initially, in the initial classes, we have to practice group tasks, group activities. Then we have to practice pair activities. Then we can practice individual tasks. So at the same time, if we practice maybe individual tasks in the first classroom, what will happen? The students will not feel that much confident. They will feel shy. They may feel nervous. So instead, if we practice group activity first, then after 3 weeks, we can practice pair activity. Then we can practice interview. Especially, we can practice individual activities. And moreover, the context of the situation, what are the things we bring into the classroom, that should be interesting to the students, so that the students will be able to perform well. They'll be interested in executing each task. The task like interviewing a famous personality. Name your friend with an actor or actress, interview the personality. So if you interview Vadivelu, somebody has to play like interview Vadivelu, and the rest of the students have to interview Vadivelu. Like that. So it will be more interesting. Once you finish with a particular person, you can start with another one, Vijaykanth or any name. You can name the students, and they'll be able to do it. That improves their communicative competence than anything, because they are getting chance to speak inside the classroom. Then individual tasks, individually they have to speak, actually talk about your favorite actor or actress. So such activities, such things, actually talk about the recent developments in nanotechnology, like that. So maybe if you are giving new talks, new things, they'll be able to talk a lot. This is actually the analysis that doesn't need. Actually, in today's world, there are a lot of technologies for teaching as well as learning language or other subjects. Open broadcast software. This is a software through which we can record the video. For example, if a teacher teaches SQL tomorrow, if maybe tomorrow the teacher is going to teach SQL to the students, but today itself the teacher can record the entire thing in his room, especially from his house. For example, if he does the programming in his house, in his laptop, the entire screen, and himself, if he wants to give commands or instructions, or if he is teaching, the entire thing can be recorded using OBS. It's a software. Once you install in your laptop, you will be able to record the entire screen as well as your video too. So once you send this video in your learning management system, actually that's what encouraged by the National Education Policy and other, especially the recent policies of India. So the learning management systems like Edmodo, Genomium Model, or Google Classroom, once you record the video and send the web link to the students, they will be able to watch. Even if you record the video and post it in your Drive, Google Drive, and share the Google Drive link in their WhatsApp group or in the learning management system, especially Edmodo or Genomium Model or in Google Classroom, the students will be able to watch it before attending the class. So once they have knowledge over the particular subject, while you are teaching, the students will be able to understand the subject well. And again, H5P, actually, this is a website through which we can edit videos. We can add the questions to the video. So that can be, the link can be sent to the students WhatsApp group, and they will be able to play, they will be able to understand. For example, hydraulics, or maybe programming languages, or maybe any other applications, maybe the circuit of maybe two-way switch or one-way switch, how it's functioning, or the process, maybe how dynamo work, how does dynamo work, or how does motor work. All those things can be explained through videos, and you can give captions, everything through this H5P website. Once actually you have to upload the video, and you can edit, you can add text to the video. Then beyond everything, in today's world, everybody is using mobile phones. As a student, you can find a lot of engineering information related to your own field in apps. Once you search in Google Play Store, you can find a lot of maybe even engineering for every process, every application, you can find apps in Google Store. At the same time, this website, actually App Inventor, is a website through which the teachers can create apps for your own subject. You can design maybe what are the thing you'd like to do, how you're preparing a PPT, like the same, you can prepare an app for your classroom. That can be later, that can be actually, the web link can be sent to the WhatsApp group of the students. Once they click on the link, the students will be able to install the particular app in their mobile phone. And the same thing can be shared in Google Play Store too. So this is actually the website through which the teacher, or as well as the students, can create apps, maybe a text-to-speech app, or even maybe the animation apps, whatever thing you'd like to do. There are actually drag and drop. You don't need to learn SQL, .NET, or Java, nothing. Without knowing anything, you will be able to develop an app. Then again, open short video editor, actually through which you will be able to edit videos. And instead of just theory classes, if you bring multimedia materials inside the classroom, the students will be able to understand a lot. And animations, Animoto, there is a website through which the teacher can create animations. So for example, how the circuits are passed, how this maybe the earth is connected, all those things can be explained through animations. Then again, beyond everything, you are aware of Google Class. Actually, through Google Class, you can share materials, you can share video clips, audio clips, and through Google Meet, you will be able to deliver. Actually, what we are doing is Google Meet. You can deliver the information even if they are far away from you. Then Google site, it looks like a separate website. You yourself, you will be able to create a website for your own students. And Google add-ons, even for taking attendance, you can use Google add-ons, and a lot of add-ons are there. Once you install this plugin, the Google offers more options. Then Google Forms, to collect the data from the students, or to conduct objective type questions or subjective type questions, you can use Google Forms. Even students can collect information from others. Even in Google Form, you can add audio, video materials, even pictures, all those things. Beyond everything, there are a lot of software. Those things are not software, they are CD-ROMs. It doesn't need any installation. Using those things, especially for engineering and other subjects, you can find a lot of CD-ROMs that can be downloaded from Google. Once you are maybe based on your subject area, if you search, you will be able to download CD-ROMs. And there are a lot of softwares which are used to even for circuit, or even for other circuit preparation, or for other things. There are a lot of software for which we will be able to do it. So as a student, you must have knowledge over ICT too, information and communication tools. So you must have knowledge over software. Maybe, for example, if you're attending an interview, maybe for example, if you're from mechanical background, you must know the solid edge or SolidWorks, such software. So if somebody writes a question, if you have knowledge over that, then only you will be selected. It doesn't mean that if you have only knowledge over the theory, you will be selected. We, as a student or as a teacher, we must have knowledge over ICT, how it can be utilized for better teaching and learning process. So like the same, you can find a lot of websites which are offering information related to each field. There are a lot of blogs which were created by experts of the particular field. You can use all those things, and web tools are there. You can download web tools, and that can be used for creating animation or creating other things, especially based on your field. Then beyond everything, text to speech, speech to text, such softwares are there, such websites are there. Many students find that how to develop my fluency. Once you type in text to speech websites or in software, that will pronounce, that will read for you. Again, you can read yourself, you can read and you can record your voice. You can match your voice, how much it matches. It will be 60% or 40%. Based on that, you can change your pronunciation, you can change all those things. And this is related to the English. It's the CD-ROM, face-to-face elementary, face-to-face advanced, sorry, intermediate, pre-intermediate, and advanced, so that you can find 4 versions. This is also a freeware. From Google, you can download this CD-ROM. Actually, the CD-ROM is from Cambridge University. This is completely free. Even if you have language lab, or even if you don't have language lab, any student can install in their laptop. Once you install, you will be able to do a lot of games are there actually. Even this elementary, face-to-face elementary, if you want to complete it, it will take nearly 3 months. So that much exercises are there. You can watch video, you can do it, and you can find your score. You will be able to record your own voice, and you will be able to listen to your own voice. So again, virtual learning. There are some websites, they are giving 3D or 3D effects. For example, for maybe desalinization or any concepts, maybe once you type the websites like the Avatar or Second Life, IST, where you can find the 3D animated things. Instead of maybe the normal pictures or instead of normal text, if you look at this, if you search in this website, you will be able to get a lot of information. And these websites are offering information related to English. You can do exercises, or you can download materials, or you can download maybe the competitive examination papers, the solved papers from these websites. ESL Gold, EnglishPage.com, and yourself you can play. You can do all this grammar as well as listening, speaking, reading, all those activities in this website. Then there are a lot of online teaching as well as learning tools. Actually, onestop.com, which offers a lot of tools. Once you click on that, you will be able to do a lot of things. I'll share this PPT with you. You can get it from your staff members. I'll share this so that you can use all these links. So normally what we do in classrooms, we are practicing teacher-centered classrooms where teachers are always teaching or they are giving lecture. Instead, if you practice learner-centered classrooms, where if learners are given chances to teach inside the classroom, then they'll be able to develop their communicative competence. These are all the theories associated with language teaching: communicative language teaching, community language learning, computer-assisted language learning, task-based classroom, holistic approach, eclectic way, flipped method. That's what I've been telling about it. Instead of before teaching a particular subject, if we share the PPT, PPT, PDF files, and the video clips related to the particular subject in their WhatsApp group as well as in learning management systems, the students will be able to understand. They'll be able to read the particular subject. They'll have enough exposure over the particular subject. So when in the next day when you are teaching, the students will be able to understand the subject very easily. That's what simply called as a flipped method. So I think these technologies can be used for effective teaching and learning. Google Meet. This is actually with the Google Meet and WhatsApp group. If you form WhatsApp group among the students, then maybe the web links, materials, PDF files, audio, video clips, everything can be shared through WhatsApp groups. Then this is actually Edmodo. We are using Edmodo here in our university and in other areas. Everybody is using nowadays. Edmodo is actually a platform. You can create a web page for your own classroom. It looks like a Facebook, but at the same time, others may not join. Once you're sending the link or once you're sending the code to the students, they'll be able to join in your classroom. So as a teacher, if you post materials, those things can be liked and commented by the students. And moreover, maybe the test can be conducted through Edmodo. This is actually a platform, learning platform. And again, Genomium Moodle is a platform where you can create materials. You can post materials, you can create complete things for the particular classroom. So the students will be able to access all the materials and the test or even quizzes, whatever thing you would like to do. Every test can be conducted through this Moodle platform. Actually, NAAC and other accreditation agencies are expecting the teachers as well as students to use this kind of learning management systems, especially Edmodo, Moodle, Google Classrooms, all those things. So coming to, I think in the beginning, I've been talking about collaboration. So actually, collaboration is nothing but connecting ourselves with the world. Now, though you may have knowledge over your subject, you're studying your engineering degree in AVS College of Engineering. You must have contact with other colleges, other universities, and the experts, so that you will be able to develop your knowledge, so that you will be able to do projects, so that you will be able to publish articles, and beyond everything, you will be able to get job in reputed institutions or in companies. So this connection, especially this, we will be able to collaborate through social websites. Nowadays, actually, Facebook pages are more. More universities, almost all the universities have Facebook pages. Now we people are just commenting or liking. We do like in Facebook. Instead, if you search Cambridge University, Oxford University, or even this IELTS, sorry,
So audio is not available, sir. So the audio is not available.
related to the particular field, you will be able to get the information. And beyond everything, many institutions are offering webinars. And so if you are maybe if you are participating in their webinar, you will be getting a lot of information related to their own subject. Then there are a lot of discussion forums, especially in Facebook or in Twitter. You can find discussion forums through which you will be able to get information. Then projects actually, especially when you're contacting IST, Editopia, or BBC, these are all related to this normal one. But at the same time, maybe not general for arts, IST is related to science and technology. Maybe in India too, you can find AST projects, AICTE projects, and MHRD is offering a lot of projects. Even this DRDO is also offering projects. And from here, you can collaborate yourself with other countries, other companies, like that. So, I think the professor told that 11:30 is the time to complete this one. Just a minute. Yeah, I hope the screen is visible to you. Hello?
Oh, yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, actually, when you are attending campus interview, the first round will be technical round. Actually, you will have questions based on your own subject. At the same time, in the second round, you will have group discussion. I'd like to cover group discussion as well as interview skills too today, maybe if I get time. So when you're looking at group discussion, group discussion is nothing but discussing any matter in a group. But at the same time, in our day-to-day life, we do group discussions. We are talking about a movie. We are talking about you have scored well. But even though some companies or hello, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Thank you. We may have sound knowledge or subject, and we may be highly skilled, but at the same time, based on our personality, we will be selected by the companies. The basic one is personality. Personality is tested by group discussion. Many people think like in group discussion, if you talk a lot or if you raise your voice, If we dominate in the group discussion, we will be selected by the interviewer. That's wrong. Actually, in group discussion, your personality can be understood. Your personality can be understood in through group discussion. For example, the person who is highly skilled or the person who has sound knowledge over his own subject may not cope up with others. When they are, for example, you're not going to work alone. You are going to work in a team. Somebody will be a team lead or somebody will be a team head, and you're going to work under him. So in a normal life, what happens if you don't cooperate or if you don't obey the words of others? What will happen? Nothing is going to happen. But in a corporate world, if somebody is not cooperating, if somebody is very lazy, if somebody is highly short-tempered, what will happen? That will affect the growth of a particular company. So that reason, the companies are conducting group discussions just to select the person who has leadership skill, patience, flexibility, and creativity. So such skills. So actually, those things are very important skills they are expecting at their side. So let me talk about the general topics which are exercised in group discussion. The first one is factual topic. Here you can, when you are getting this kind of topics, you can only share the facts. You may not provide any imaginary idea, or you may not tell any stories here. The education policy of India. So if you want to speak more on this topic, you must have information related to the 5-year plan, 7-year plan, 11-year plans, and the new education policy or the national education policy, all those things, so that you will be able to speak well. So the basic one in GD is, it doesn't mean that they are checking our personality. We must have information. If we have information, we will be able to find. So then controversial topics. Sometimes actually, normally they give the factual topics at the same time. If number of students are more, they provide controversial topics. Sometimes controversy in the sense it may bring controversy between two genders or two people. Reservations should be removed. The reservation to women should be removed. This is a topic. Women make better managers. Who can make better managers, whether women or men? When we are providing this title, all the men will say that we are the better managers, and all the women will claim that we are the better managers. So there will be maybe contradictory views between these two groups, two genders. So such topics are called as controversial topics. Then abstract topics. So abstract topics are given just to check the creative competence of the student. Actually, whether the student is highly creative or not. A is an alphabet. So the person has to speak about A. Wherever we can apply A, based on that, A is used to give grade. A is used to maybe in movies and in every way, in many places. What it means, based on that, you are going to discuss. Then Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So it's a childhood song, and maybe what are the information you are able to collect in a short period? What are the information you are able to share in a short period? You have to share. Based on that, you will be selected. Then the number 10. In every clock, you can find 10:10. Abraham Lincoln was shot dead 10:10. So in somebody's jersey, you can find number 10. So such things have to be revealed in a short period. Yeah. Again, you can find one more GD, case-based GD, especially if you are attending civil service GD, group discussion, where they are providing a case or where they are providing a problem. They are checking your problem-solving skill. Just look at the example. You are deceived and left behind the bar for saving a person in an accident. So you saved the person, but others find fault that you did this one. You did the accident. You hit over the guy like that. So how will you escape from the scene? How will you justify yourself that you are innocent? So based on that, you have to speak. So what are the things are tested? What are the skills are tested or expected in group discussion? Ability to work in a team. If you are alone, we can work, we will never find fault. But at the same time, if you are joining with the group, somebody will irritate you, somebody will scorn at you, somebody will maybe pass comments, and somebody will never allow you to work, somebody will dominate you. These things will happen. But even though in such situation, we have to work and we have to execute the work. Whether you are able to work with the team, that's what tested first in group discussion. Then communication skills. Communication skills doesn't mean that communication skills don't mean that maybe the correct pronunciation or correct grammar, not like that. Actually, you have to speak the language that should be understood by others. What others speak, that should be understood by you. That's what communication skills. and it should be effective. When you are speaking, that should be very clear, and it should be short, and it should be easily understood by others. So that's what simply called as communication skills. Your communication skills will be again tested in personal interview. So here you not show your pronunciation. So again, reasoning ability, that's very important. Actually, whatever the topic, you have to refine the reason for the particular issue or particular problem. So once you find the reason, then you will be able to speak about the particular topic. So they are checking your reasoning ability. Then leadership skill. So actually, leadership skill is not a skill to lead or to dominate anyone. Even if somebody doesn't, if somebody finds difficulty in communicating, or if somebody wants to convey something, if he is finding, if he is hesitating, or if he finds difficulty, you can help on behalf of him. If nobody is talking, or if somebody is shy, if somebody is maybe distressed, you can boost him to speak. You can if you raise your points would be valid here. Whether if you use one sentence, then he will be able to talk, or on behalf of him, you can speak. So that's what called as leadership. Then again, initiative. What will be the issue? What will be the things somebody initiates? So for the initiation, it shows risk-taking capacity of the particular person. So initiation matters a lot. Somebody who starts the particular program, that matters. A particular talk or particular discussion, he'll be getting good, maybe initial 5 marks. Then assertiveness, flexibility, creativity, all these things are connected with each other. Actually, you must be flexible with others. Your language or your maybe idea should be creative, related to the particular topic. Then the ability to think on one's feet. We may not always depend on others. You must share your own information. You may not always say that I agree with you or I disagree with you. You have to share your own information, and you have to stand on your own feet. That's what expected in group discussion. So the negative traits, actually, we people know the positive traits already. At the same time, negative traits, knowingly or unknowingly, we do certain things. Those things become negative traits. We are getting negative marks. So speaking loudly, and most of the students think that if it is group discussion, we have to speak loudly so that we will be selected. If you speak loudly, it will threaten others. It will be disturbing other group members too. So the voice we use, that should be heard only by your group members. It need not be heard by others. So that kind of language you have to use. So speaking loudly brings negative impression, because sometimes it may threaten others. Then again, interfering and not letting others speak. Sometimes, if somebody is speaking, you have to allow the person to speak, which shows your patience, your listening skill, all those things. If you are not, if you are interfering others when they are speaking, what happens? It shows your dominating character. You will never allow anyone to grow. You will be always dominating, and it shows your ego. That's it. And again, being short-tempered. Some people are short-tempered. For even the ordinary things, they get emotions, they get maybe tension, they get stressed. So if these guys or these people may not work in company when they are working with the group members in a group. So if the being short-tempered is identified, actually, if somebody disagrees with your views, if you are getting angry, then you will be getting negative marks. Then getting personal, crying or thinking personal, all those things will give negative mark in group discussion. Then again, emotional, maybe laughing or maybe crying or showing your emotions to others, that also will bring negative one. Then replying without listening. Sometimes, somebody's talking and we'll be listening. We never listen to him, and we'll be looking at others. So the speech, especially the discussion, may not be continuous. In a group discussion is not sharing our own opinion. Actually, this is just like a chain talk. What others talk, based on that only we have to continue. We may not speak our own opinion or own views. Then it will become just a opinion sharing activity. Group discussion in the sense, we should be connected with others. What others speak, based on that we have to maybe give our opinion, or we have to share or something related to the particular one. It is just a discussion. Just like normal discussion, we are going to do group discussion. So if you listen to others, then only you will be able to reply. Otherwise, what will happen? If you don't listen to others, what they speak, we will be sharing something irrelevant to the topic. Then making fun of others. Even somebody may not have a good pronunciation, or his posture may be something different. In group discussion, we shouldn't make fun of others. If we crack jokes or if we make fun of others, what will happen? It shows that your personality, that you are not encouraging others, you are finding faults with others. So making fun of others in group discussions should be avoided. And imposing a discipline, in some group discussions, people, one person dominates, like you start, you next, you stop, like that. We are not a police constable in group discussion. We shouldn't impose discipline there. Anybody can start, anybody can give conclusion, anybody can maybe do all the things, anybody can maybe take the discussion in track. So we need not impose discipline. You start, you speak, like that. Such things should be avoided, which shows the dominating character. Then the deviating from the topic, especially maybe once the topic is given, we have to talk about the particular topic. And if something is related to the particular topic, that also can be provided, but we shouldn't deviate from the topic. We shouldn't go away from the topic. Beyond everything, body language and gestures matters a lot. Our own expressions give, especially when you look at psychoanalysis or psychoanalytical theories, you can find based on the gestures or based on the body language of a person, his personality can be understood. So when you're doing this sort of rude bodily and facial gestures, what will happen? It shows that you are flirting, or you're maybe scorning at someone, you're laughing at someone. So it shows that you will never encourage your teammates. You may not work with the team. You will find fault with your team members. So this sort of rude bodily and facial gestures should be avoided. Then eye contact matters a lot. When you are talking to someone, your eye contact should be normal. Actually, if you look at I think video is fading off. Yeah, if you are looking at the wall, or if you're looking at the floor, what will happen? Maybe the communication may not reach the particular person. People may, your group members may not be interested in listening to you. The basic one is eye contact. You should look at the person to whom you are talking. In group discussion, you're not going to talk to one person. You're going to talk among your friends. So you have to look at everyone's eyes. You shouldn't look at any side. Maybe you shouldn't look at wall, or you shouldn't look at the ground. You have to look at the face of all the people. For that reason, they'll be interested in listening to you. The eye contact matters a lot. And moreover, when you are looking at their eyes, they'll feel confident and they'll be interested in listening to you. So this also will be checked by the interviewers. Then shrugging of shoulders and indicate. Even if you don't know the information or don't know the information, don't show this shrugging of your shaking your maybe the shoulders. That will give a bad impression to the interviewers. Then again, pointing maybe while talking to your friends, don't point at anyone. This is also this indicates that you are accusing someone, or you're alleging, or you're charging someone with it. And smile, sometimes we do extraordinary smile, or extraordinary we laugh extraordinarily. Those things can be avoided. Then raised eyebrows convey. Sometimes we do this sort of things. This also can be avoided. And keeping your face like this, like showing dislike or suspicion, this also will give you a negative impression. Then again, forehead, like keeping your eye here and showing your anxiety or worries, that also will bring you negative mark. And this sort of things will bring you negative mark. And biting your nail, that also will bring you negative mark to you. Touching nose and tapping. Some students, while attending the interview, they'll be tapping. Even in the classroom too, some students tap. If you tap, it shows that you are not interested in their talk, or you are impatient. Then again, maybe if you're rubbing your hand, it shows that you have less confidence over yourself. Then posture, how you stand matters a lot. Stand straight. If you stand like this, it shows that you're not confident about yourself. You are not, maybe you are begging at someone like that. And sitting lazy and cross legs, all those things should be avoided. You have to use a neat dress when you're attending interview. For example, you're expected to use a light color shirt and dark color pants. So this is what the seating arrangement. Actually, when you are given a title, you have to sit like this in semicircle. So let me talk about the few positive roles that can be played in group discussion. So initially, immediately after getting the title, if somebody has to initiate the group discussion. So maybe the title may be multinational bane or boon. Maybe the title may be like this, but you have to start with a positive one, like multinational bane or boon is a good topic. Do we need multinational? Using a question, you can continue the discussion, or by giving an information or by giving definition, you can continue the discussion. You can continue the discussion. Then again, the second role, first role is actually the initiator who starts the discussion. The second one is information giver. I agree with you. What's the fun of having Coke and Pepsi? Because the first person is talking about Coke and Pepsi. The second person is continuing, information giver. The third role is information giver. I think gender cognitive is good enough. And on the whole, actually, they are deviating from the topic. Procedure facilitator. Actually, based on the previous talks, this person bringing the talk into the track. We are not here to discuss soft drinks. The topic given to us is much larger one. First, let's define multinational companies. So the basic one is we have to define the topic first. Then we can share the related information. So if people are deviating from the topic, someone can play the role of procedure facilitator. Then opinion seeker. You can seek information from others. Are they all good? We have seen that they destroy local industry, that you can continue the talk. So others may disagree or agree. They may add information to this person. This is also one role, opinion seeker. Then opinion giver. He's another person. He's giving opinion to the previous person. I agree with you. We can produce everything ourselves. So whether we can produce ourselves everything, it's impossible. For example, we have to import petrol and other materials. A lot of materials we are importing from others. We don't have such resources in India. So we are depending on other countries. We may not produce everything on our own. So such things can be shared by this one. Maybe this is actually the role of opinion giver. Then clarifier. We may not need multinational companies, but then it also means that our company should not do business abroad. Can you live in an isolated part of that? He can clarify. Someone can clarify. And the last person is actually the summarizer who has to summarize the entire discussion. When somebody is summarizing, nobody should share any other information. The summarizer should understand that the entire discussion is briefed and it is given in a nutshell. And the summarizer shouldn't give his own opinion. Actually, we have to look at both pros and cons with those things. Pros and cons should be shared in while summarizing. But in the end, when you're concluding your discussion, that should have a positive impression. So in group discussion, we can use quotes, definitions, questions, short statements, facts, figures, and statistics. Sometimes if a short story is relevant to the particular one, and the story should be very short, that also may be used in group discussion. Then we can share general statements in group discussion. So if time permits, let me share this interview skills too. Just a minute. So actually, in the third round, you will have personal interview. They are expecting certain questions from you. This is also a psychoanalytical test. Based on your answers, they will select you. Hope the screen is visible to you. Hello, whether the screen is visible?
Visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So in interview, especially in the personal interview, you have to create a positive impression. Actually, through your positive attitude, you can bring a positive maybe impression among the interviewers. So the basic one is active listening. When they raise a question, you have to listen to them actively. Then your response also should be very positive. It shouldn't have any negative thoughts. And you're expected to use a standard language which respects the interviewers. And you are expected to use a good body language and gestures and competence and skills. What are the subjects you have studied? You have to, maybe what are the exposure you had through your studies? You have to show yourself that you are the competent person, you are highly skilled in your subject. Such impressions should be created in interviews. So before attending the interview, you must collect the information about the particular concern or particular campaign. For example, TCS may do some jobs, and at the same time, Cognizant may do some jobs, and maybe other companies may do some jobs. Their nature of job and their company, especially the share value and their atmosphere should be understood. You have to read everything from their website or from other information sources. So once you get their information, then only you will be able to shine well in the interview. So when you are collecting such information, and at the same time, immediately after giving your resume, for example, already they have collected information so that they are inviting you to attend the interview. So what happens? They too collect information about you from your social website. Not only we people think like they are collecting only information from our resume. In the present world, they are collecting more information from your social website, from your blogs, and from your web pages. For example, you are giving your email ID in your resume. So once they type once they type your email ID in Google, they can collect all your web links, your Facebook ID, your maybe blogs, your website, your web pages, everything can be collected from them. So as a student, maybe in your Facebook or in your Instagram pages, don't post anything negative. That may bring you a negative impression to the interviewers. For example, some people post the information related against the religion, against the community, against the language, against the foreigners, against the genders, all those things. So such information should be avoided, because you will be mocked as you are an anti-social personality if you are posting such information in Facebook or in blogs or in other websites, because the companies are collecting information from social websites a lot. So the job selection is based on the written test. I think I told in the beginning, first you have the technical round, then you'll have in group discussion, then you'll have personal interview. Personal interview includes technical as well as role specific or HR interview like that. Let me talk about a few frequently asked questions in interviews. Tell me something about yourself. This is a question. Actually, every question is a tricky question. They are not seeking just your name, your place of birth, or your education alone. Their expectation is something more than the information that you provided in the resume. So when you are introducing yourself, you have to highlight your educational background, so especially your highest qualification. Then provide a brief about your family and where you live, but don't share too much personal information. If you are sharing too much of personal information, sir, I am from poor background, rather, such information are unnecessary. They are not going to consider such things. Then sell your experience and relevant technical skills. This matters a lot. What are the technical skills you have? If you are aware of, if you have knowledge over maybe programming, or if you have knowledge over Photoshop, video editing, all those things, then you can share such information. They are expecting more technical information from you. They are expecting more skills from you. Then mention your major achievements, hobbies, and interests in short, especially your achievements. Maybe the paper presented in symposium or conference, whether maybe sometimes some students get first prize or second prize in the competitions, maybe in sports. What are the achievements you made? Those things can be mentioned in interviews. Then we have to share hobbies. Hobbies in the sense, if you say watching TV is my hobby, then it will automatically it will create a negative impression. Always I use Facebook, that also will bring negative impression. Instead, if you use a hobby, that will give a positive impression to them. Such things should be used. For example, I am fond of browsing. I'm fond of reading new information with it. I browse a lot and I read a lot of latest development techniques, strategies which are used in different fields like that. So they'll think that you are very curious about technology. You are reading a lot with it. So such people will be selected. So let's look at the question. This is the answer of one student. Thank you very much for giving me this golden opportunity. First, you have to thank the person. Whatever the question they raise, first in the beginning, you have to thank. Thank you very much for giving me this golden opportunity. I am Sapna. My father, Mr. Sam, is a teacher, and my mother, a homemaker. I have two other siblings, and they are still in school. I have completed my BE Computer Science from VIT in 2018. During my undergraduation, I completed several projects on testing where I excelled in my work and even got certificates for the same. Now I am interested in joining your reputed organization as a software tester. This is a very short one. Let's look at another possible answer. I'm Shakil from Vellore. I completed my BE EC at VIT with 87%. I am a self-starter with strong interpersonal skills. I work efficiently as an individual contributor as well as along with the team. I seek new challenges and try to think out of box while looking for creative solutions to a given problem. Besides the details given in my resume, I believe in character, values, wisdom, and action. I'm quick learner and believe in learning from my mistakes. For I strongly feel that this virtue will take me ahead in life and career. So another answers. There are a lot of possible answers. Let's move to the next two questions. Tell us something about your key strengths. They'll be talking. They'll ask about your strengths as well as weaknesses. This one is based on strength. Here, they are digging your deep confidence level over the particular subject, your own knowledge. So you have to stay simple. At the same time, if you are overconfident or if you price yourself a lot, then they'll find fault with you. Beginners, I take things positively and I am a very positive person. Like that, you can start. So the answer may be like this, ma'am. I believe my greatest strength is my ability to grasp things quickly. Like for instance, I had to put up a presentation in college at Inter-College Arts Exhibition. In that, despite being introduced to the rest of the team members at the last moment, I was able to easily understand the artifacts and represent successfully. So this gives an impression to the students that this person can achieve the things very easily. Even at the last moment, he will be able to make the things possible with it. Then if they raise the questions like what are your strengths and weaknesses, you can give the things like strengths. I adapt with changing environments. I learn quickly and have a good ability to make others understand what I learned. Weakness, I work too hard sometimes as a workaholic, and the parents point out that this is the right note. So weakness in the sense, smoking or maybe other things shouldn't be provided. So once they receive this word workaholic, they will think that we got a good slave like that. So they will be much interested in selecting you if you use the word workaholic, because whatever the work you are assigned, you will be able to do it. You will execute the work without taking food and without taking tea or anything. So such people are expected. Such people, the corporates are expecting such kind of workaholics. Then where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? After 5 years, how you look yourself like that? So they are looking at your career goals, your commitments over the organization, how you will develop yourself, and how you will be useful to the corporate or the particular concern. So in the next 5 years, I visualize myself taking up different roles within a team, going strength to strength to the strength, from being a marketing executive to handling a team and various projects. Or that as a fresher, I wish to absorb as much knowledge and take my learning curve ahead. So why should I hire you? What you have? What kind of knowledge you have? What kind of skills you have? And why should I hire you? This is the question. So it is to understand which quality of yours would be more helpful for the company's growth. So in what way you will be helpful to the company? That's what you have to focus. And in case we don't know the company well, you may mention some common qualities like quick learning, team player, flexibility like this. So let's look at this one. The possible answer: during my college time, I have had a good number of internships and exposure to the industry. Being a fresher, it wouldn't be difficult for me to adjust to the new environment. Hence, we can save on training time and other sources because I have knowledge over C, C++, Java, SQL, .NET, CAD, CAM, and projects, etc. So I'll be able to tackle the things very easily. I'm so sorry. I'd like to wind up. If you have any question or if you want to clarify anything, you can post question. Hello?
Okay, sir.
Yes, please. Dear students, if you want to clarify or if you have any questions to raise, you are welcome to raise question now.
It's a time to ask or clarify your doubts regarding the presentation. Students, I request post any questions to the guest.
Maybe regarding your communicative competence, how to develop communicative competence in English, what will be the questions? If you wish to raise question, you can unmute your mic and you can raise your question.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, yes, please.
Sir, if you don't include our higher qualification, means how they came to know about ourselves, sir? So what is
So
the
you have
other way to say our highest qualification?
No, actually, I didn't say that you shouldn't show your highest qualification. You should show your highest qualification, and you have to focus more on your skills.
Okay,
So
sir.
if you
Thank
talk
you.
about your higher education and more about your skills, actually, what in what way you are distinctive, or in what way you are different from others, that's what expected by the company. If you show yourself that I have this much paper publications, I have this much maybe projects, then, or if you are aware of this much technical skills, then they'll be able to, they'll consider you, they'll be able to select you. That's what expected by the corporate. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Do you have any other question?
Sir, shall we wind up the session, sir?
Yeah, yes, please, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Dear students, stay back, okay? Don't left from the group. It's the time to give vote of thanks. I invite Dr. Kalai Chelvi to give the vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to all. On behalf of my college, AVS College of Technology, I would like to take this opportunity to record my heartfelt thanks to our honorable chief guest, Dr. R. Rajesh, head of the Department of English Language and Studies, Madurai Kamarajar University, who spares his time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your very thought-provoking and interesting address. It
Thank you,
gives
ma'am.
me an immense pleasure. Thank you, sir. It gives me an immense pleasure to express our deep gratitude to our management, Sri K. Kailasam, sir, Chairman, Thiru K. Rajavinayam, sir, Secretary, Thiru K. Sandar Kumar, sir, Correspondent, for organizing this program. A special thanks to our principal, Dr. M. Ramesh Kumar, for his motivation and dedication to make this event a successful one. I also extend my thanks to the vice principals, HODs, and staff members for their enormous cooperation for this event. Last but not least, I thank all the students who are the real benefiters of this program. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Really,
ma'am.
it is a eye-opening thing for us, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot for us, sir, sharing your thoughts and knowledge with us. On
Thank you,
behalf of
ma'am.
AVS College of Technology, I thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.